All right, winter storm is coming. We've got some lessons learned from the last snow and power outage, so come along and let's see what we're going to do different this time. All right, welcome back to the Renewed Homestead, everybody. I'm Ben.
I'm Denise.
And we've got a winter storm coming at us. They are promising 8 to 12 inches of snow.
8 to 14.
8 to 14 inches of snow. I'm never right. So, what are we doing?
You're always right.
She says for the camera. Anyway, so anticipating another power outage. The last snow that we had come through, we had a few lessons we learned and realized that we weren't as prepared as we should be. So we thought, well, let's
get prepared.
Yeah.
So it's been a long day, but the last time the snow came through, now it was interesting because last year we never lost power. We had snow Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, a couple weeks later.
A lot of snow.
A lot of snow. Last time we had a lot of wind come in with the snow, a lot of freezing rain. So we did have a power outage. Now, as y'all know, we're in the RV, so we don't have wood heat in the RV. We did lose power for several hours, so we had to hurry up and scramble, get into the house so that we could stay warm by the wood stove. Because thankfully, as y'all know, the wood stove is up and running. Thankfully,
got the wood stove in, yeah, but we lost electricity and of course internet and
everything. Yeah. And RV is run now. The heater's on propane, but the thermostat is on electricity, so we have absolutely no heat when the power goes out in the RV.
And yes, there is an onboard generator. However, on our trip out here in the middle of summer, we pulled over to get some sleep
in Arkansas.
Man, it was hot. We could smell the exhaust coming in, so we are not going to risk that again.
No.
That
was a long night.
That was potentially a deadly situation. I mean, it was bad. I mean, a couple hours and away we went.
Yeah, I turned everything off, and it was hot, but told him he's got to get some sleep. He was driving, so.
Yeah. Let me check this and make sure it's recording.
Several times we have started.
Thumbs up. It's recording, and make sure you're thumbs upping the video.
Yeah, several times we've actually started recording a video only to realize it wasn't recording.
Yeah, so it's worth checking.
Yes.
All right, so let's get down to it.
So what did we learn last time? What did we not have that we should have had ready?
Well, the big thing is that when the electricity's out, we also don't have power to the well, so we have no water. So we have
we are, as you know, in our goals, solar well pump.
Yeah, solar well pump, and yeah. But anyway, so we've got the 5-gallon plastic bottles that we used to use in Phoenix because, you know, while drinkable, it doesn't taste good. So we used to lug those back and forth to the store. Here we can just drink out of the garden hose. It's wonderful stuff. But anyway, we're going to fill those 5-gallon jugs, both for water to have, but also if we need to flush the toilet, we can pour some into the tank to flush the toilet that's in the house. So we've got that. We have chairs in there now. We didn't have chairs, so I was running through the snow to get those. Everything was kind of charged up, but right now we're making sure everything is charged. Both the DeWalt batteries, we've got a great flashlight that came with that, and when it's dark in that house, turn that little flashlight up. We'll show you a picture of it, but you turn that up and hits the ceiling, it lights up the whole place. So it's great. So we've got 4 of those batteries being charged up.
Plus our phones, our laptops.
Yeah, all those things. Plus we, because I'm constantly jump starting either a lawnmower or a tractor or truck or whatever it is, we got a new jump box. I had an old one and just wore it out. I love that thing, but I was just using it. It's got the tire inflator on it, and the reason I'm saying all this is it also has 4 USB ports. So we're gonna get that thing fully charged up, and if we need to charge your phone or whatever, I imagine we could probably charge for days on that if it was just the phone batteries.
Yes.
But what else? So we've got the coffee.
Percolator.
The percolator. It's already cleaned out, full of water. All we got to do is pour the coffee in, and we'll set that on the wood stove. We've got extra wood in the house because the last storm, again, we didn't bring the wood in, so it was wet and had a hard time getting it started.
The pot so that we can boil water and heat soup up on the wood stove.
Yep.
So that's really important, and we'll bring in some of the soup that we canned and jarred last year from our garden. We'll bring that in along with some crackers. So if we are in a power outage, now hopefully nothing happens. We're just
Right.
we're just preparing just in case, but that way we have some food at the ready.
Right.
And then we get boil water.
And it's not like we can't just layer up and get out here to the shop where we've got a bunch of our food stashed away because we can't have it in the house.
But if we do get a foot of snow, we might have an issue actually opening the door. So,
Possibly. We'll open the window and push her out. Push Katie out. That's what we'll do.
Push Katie out.
Yeah, we'll
yes.
have to keep the door clear.
No jumping.
What else do we need?
I think we've got the flashlight. I would normally say candles, but most of our candles are packed. But we have the flashlights that will take care of that for us, and then we'll have the wood stove going.
Yep.
And we'll get the wood stove going. We've been putting it on at night because it's been so cold. So we've had it on at night, but we'll make sure that it's going all night and it's ready to go. Because some reports are saying we're going to start at 6, others are saying we're going to start at 10, others are saying 2 a.m. So we're not sure exactly when.
But we could be getting about 2 days worth, two days of it.
Yes. And it's showing hard snow all day long tomorrow.
Right.
So
Generator. So we do have a portable generator. I didn't mention that. I talked about the one on board the RV that we won't use,
Loki.
but we do have the portable generator that will pull down. We've got gasoline. I might wind up running up this evening to fill up our gas cans just to make sure, because I know we've used some of it. Really, that should be it. I mean, if the power goes out and we're out of the RV, we will. I hate to say it, but we'll have to drag the mattress out of there and throw it on the floor in the house.
we don't have drywall up, but at least we've got the wood stove and we've got the space, so it'll work.
Stay warm. We can, bring the dog beds in, and I guess the cats will have to come in too. We don't want them to freeze.
Yeah. Now, what are we? Do you want to share with them what we're doing to take care of the animals? So the chickens will stay in the barn along with the guineas because it's just going to be too cold. There's going to be too much snow. I don't want them. We talked with Billy because they've had chickens for years. And I remember before winter started, I'm like, do we need to keep the chickens warm? How do we do this? And he's like, you know what? Chickens can be wet or they can be cold, but they can't be both. So as long as you are keeping them dry, they should be okay. So obviously we will keep the chickens. They can be in the coop, and the ducks can go out. The ducks love snow. They love cold. But we'll make sure they have access to their house. The guineas and the chickens that are in the barn will stay in the barn. I've got fresh straw out for them. We're going to put extra food out for them, so they've got plenty of food to get them through the day, and we'll make sure we have plenty of corn. And corn helps them to stay warm because it fills their craw, and then that kind of, as that breaks up and digests, it helps them stay warm. So we will make sure that all of the chickens and everybody, they have plenty of non-GMO corn.
And they do have plenty of room to move around in their pens.
They've got big pens.
They'll be perfectly fine. They'll complain about it, but they'll be fine.
Yes.
And then the sheep. We've got a new baby up there.
Yes.
So we have already, and we have dubbed it the Shantytown Sheep Tractor because we're using moving blankets because we don't have enough tarps. I did find one more tarp we're going to put on that. But what we're leaning on here is the box that we use to bring the sheep home in.
Yes.
We're going to put that up there. We're going to fill it full of straw. We're going to put it right up against the sheep tractor. Tilly could pop any day now. She's got to have twins in there, if not triplets.
She's huge.
And she is, so if she wants to get in here, or if the new mama and her baby want to get in here, this is a little more enclosed. It's just a little extra space for them. That's a little warm, that should be warm for them.
Yeah, we had talked about bringing Mama and Baby and Tilly to the barn just in case, and getting an area closed in for them. The new mama is really, really skittish. She's one of our very skittish ones. Now, the other two that we processed, well, the other
Katie.
female that we processed was also very skittish, more skittish than the one that's there now. But we'll go ahead and process her once baby is weaned. Sorry, Loki's chewing on something, not sure what.
He's eating black walnuts.
Oh, Loki, you silly boy. So we were worried about her being too stressed, being away from the rest of the sheep. Now, if we've got a lot of wind and freezing rain, we'll obviously pull them and get them into the barn. But what we're trying to do is keep them all together to keep her stress level low. So we are making sure the tractor is enclosed so snow can't get in. We're going to make sure that this is nice and warm. Both of them will be full of straw. We'll also have hay in there for them. And we're not worried about the adult sheep. Obviously, they've got a lot of hair that's keeping them warm, but we're obviously very worried about baby. So we're just trying to make sure that baby has a place to keep warm. And one thing we have noticed is the baby kind of goes in the middle. All the sheep kind of surround baby and keep baby warm. So we know they'll do that, but we want to make sure we keep the snow out of the sheep tractor. So that's what we're working on right now.
Well, that, and it worked out that as we've migrated their pen, the
Sheep tractor.
The sheep tractor and the fencing, we are now up in the little pine grove that we've got up at the top of the pasture. So that's going to offer them a little bit extra protection from the snow and wind probably as well.
Yeah, and they actually like being up in there. It's nice and soft.
They do. It is nice up there.
Yes.
We like being up there.
Yes, we do. So they'll be in there. We would normally move them today. They've been in there about 2 days, but since we have all the snow coming, we're going to leave them up there under the pine trees, and we'll just make sure that they have plenty of hay. And then obviously we'll come out and check on everybody several times throughout the day tomorrow. And then if it looks like everything's too cold, or we've got wind and sleet, or whatever it is, then we will go ahead and get them in the barn.
Yeah, they should be all right. So what else? So we've got batteries charged up. We'll have the generator down there. The wood's in the house. We'll bring down food. Hopefully we don't have to move our bed. Hopefully we don't lose power at all. We're telling you things that we learned from the last power outage, so that maybe you can be prepared too if you don't have power outages much. But
yeah, well, and if we were in the house, it wouldn't be a big deal, right? Because we have the wood stove, we lose power, everything stays there. But because we're in the RV, this is why we're having to prepare. And we would still make sure that we had water. We would still make sure that, we had our food ready to go. We would have the percolator ready to go just in case, because coffee is critical.
Yes.
So,
which we pretty much do anyway. The big issue is that we're in the RV. So these things we do kind of have ready anyway, but they're in the RV. So we're just getting everything migrated into the house and ready to go just in case. But
yeah, and I would say if you're in the path of this storm, or really any storm that looks like it's going to be big, make sure you have candles at the ready. Make sure you have flashlights at the ready. Make sure you have water that you can access, because if we lose power, we're on a well, so we will lose the ability to pump the water up. But sometimes the city will also lose power for their water pump, so you might lose water in the case of a power outage. So make sure you have water, make sure you have food, make sure you have a way to stay warm. Now, we made sure that we have wood heat in case the power goes out, but if you don't have a wood stove, one thing you can do is get they've got these, and I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll show a picture of them. They're these little lanterns, and you can put candles in them, and it actually creates heat. Alaska Prepper actually did a video in Alaska, and it actually kept his office warm when he had 2 of these running. So you can take one of these little lamps with a candle to heat and put yourself in a tent. Just get the whole family together, get a tent put up, get one of these little kerosene heaters, or get one of these candle. I like the candle one. It seems a little safer to me. And stay in that tent, because that will help keep the heat in and will help keep you warm when the rest of your house is freezing.
And just make sure you have a little bit of circulation, because you don't want to carbon monoxide poisoning or whatever.
Yeah, so most tents are airtight. But
Now we do know people that have used their propane stove and just turned that on and used that for heat. Well, it's not a great idea to do that.
No.
If you had to do something like that, something I had thought of when we were talking about it is, if nothing else, don't just let that flame go to waste. Put a big pot of water on that, because that will help absorb that heat and radiate it back out, so you don't maybe not have to run the propane as long or whatever. But
well, we don't
I
recommend that because carbon monoxide, right?
Yeah.
So we do know people that have done it. We don't recommend it. That's why I
No.
said grab yourself a tent, and if you don't have a tent, maybe take sheets, blankets, make yourself a little fortress, like kids love to do. And just make sure you have a heat source that can go in that little tent area with you, and then that will keep you guys warm. Hopefully you have a heat source. If you don't, I would still say get in a tent or in a fortress with blankets, something, because your rest of your house will get freezing. That, with your body heat and everything else, should stay a little bit warmer. Well,
it really, coming down to it, and one of the things that came out of Texas last year that I learned from their storm, it said get plastic, painter's plastic. Even if it's a plastic bag, trash bag, get some of the blue painter's tape and tape it around your windows. Having that, even if it's just plastic, but creating that that barrier between your warm and the outside cold, can keep you a whole lot warmer. So it's good, something good to have on hand just in case, because we don't know when the power is going to go out. I mean, this could be, this could just roll in like a lamb and just tear into us unexpectedly. So it's good to be prepared for it.
Yeah, it's always good to prepare for any storm. It's just good to be prepared overall. So we just wanted to share with you some of the things that we learned last time, some things we're preparing for tomorrow and Monday, and we're hoping that nothing happens, so we don't lose power and we can stay in the RV and we don't have to worry about any of this.
Yep.
But it's just good to be prepared just in case, and I encourage all of you, in the path of a storm, any storm that's coming your way, definitely get prepared. And it's always good to have a radio as well that's off of battery power. Yep. I know a lot of us have phones, but in case something happens with the phone, you can get a battery or a radio that's run on batteries, and then that will just keep you updated with weather.
Or even a hand crank.
Yeah.
The hand cranks, you can get them for, I'm not saying it's high quality, but you can get them for $20, maybe $30. But I do have Grandpa's old ham radio. It's packed away. I'd like to get that out. It runs on D batteries, which we don't have any D batteries.
Yes, we do.
We do?
We do.
Oh, we have D batteries.
Yes, we do.
I just have to find it, but I don't anticipate it getting to that point. But just one more thing to have handy in case you need it.
Yeah. So a way to keep warm. Make sure you've got water. Make sure you have food. Those are really critical. And then you have your phone, so it should be charged up. But in case something happens with your phone, it's always good to have a radio so you can check the weather updates and see if it's going to get better or if it's going to get worse. But just hopefully this will help you. We'll ride through this. We'll get through it, and hopefully we don't lose power.
Yeah. Well, and too, this is where the good humans come out. This is where we see the best of humanity. So if you've got elderly neighbors or handicapped neighbors, check on them, because if you're going to the store or whatever, see if they need anything before you go, because they may not have anybody. I don't know, but this is trying times. You usually see hopefully good people come out of it. So
yes.
All right, what else, if anything? Well, hello there.
Excuse you. Do you want to be on camera? Hi, Bertha.
That's Curious Georgetta.
That's Bertha.
That's Bertha?
That's Bertha.
I try not to name.
He was curious.
Try not to name the animals, but she is.
Well, she's one of our egg producers, so any of them at any point could become a meat bird.
Hey, Katie, you never know when you're going to wind up in the crock pot, right, Katie? Speaking of food security, you guys watch for the other video coming out soon, like really soon.
No.
All right.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope, we're good.
All right, we've got to get busy. Please be safe. Keep in touch with everybody. Yeah. All right. So I'm sure you're subscribed. We lost some subscribers that just so make sure you're still subscribed.
Yeah, they they were unsubscribed because of the algorithm. So I don't know why it happens. It happens with a lot of channels.
But it always seems to happen like right when we hit like 100 mark.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's like it keeps dropping us right below because we're like right at almost 600. So anyway, whatever. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Get those pets spayed and neutered. We'll see you in the next video, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless y'all. Bye.